Man.
I will lose my mind if this fails again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's pretty
This
valid.
is our like 7th take of this because our recording software keeps failing as we try to record.
We lived whole entire lives.
Yeah, I got to show everybody some really funny, weird videos while we waited for the PC to update, which took forever. But anyway, my name is Fred Stewart. Welcome to Hot Scariest and Omens. With me, as always, my lovely co-host.
It's me. It's Taylor. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
With us running cameras and sound is Bill Bernard.
Hello there.
I'm gonna freak out if this fails again, which I have a feeling it's inevitably going to. You might just see this if you are watching this on YouTube and there's no video. I don't know what to tell you. I will legitimately just put it up and just like have like cutouts of like PNGs of us. They're not gonna move. They're not gonna light up. It will just say the episode name.
Yes.
That's gonna be the episode on YouTube if it fails. I there's not much I can do anymore. I don't know what's causing this problem, but it's causing it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to read some scary stories.
He just wanted to live his life. He wanted to scare you. He wanted to entertain you. He wanted you to see what could happen. And we saw what could happen. The horrors of technology. That's why I'm so thankful to be here to explore all the scary stories.
Take hot oil and put it in the flour. Take hot oil. And
Take
put it in
hot
the
oil.
Flour. I know that flour is expensive. Don't lie to me.
You know?
You're not gonna understand that reference until the doc comes back. So if you
Put
do
the
know that
lotion on the skin.
yeah. We scoured the internet for some of the scariest stories we could find, and we really wanted to read them to you. So we're gonna try to do that. And if the recording software fails, you're not gonna see us.
Yep. You're just going to hear us.
You're just going to hear us at this point. We're going to try to power through this. I went on the scariest page I could find for scary stories, and I found one created by an author named Rosie 1000 from the Wizard 101 Central, which is a forum for Wizard 101, as you might imagine. Which is not exactly where I intended to find some of these scary stories, but this is where I found this one.
You know? It'd be like that.
And, we've had a lot of really fun bits of our attempts to try to record, and now I think we're all just tired.
I think we're pretty tired. But, my statement still stands. If y'all want to play Wizard 101 with me, hit me up.
Yeah. Tired, boss.
Dude, I need to watch The
Real.
Green Mile again. That's a great movie.
It's a great movie. It's incredibly sad.
Yes.
God damn, is it good. Like, who...
Like, I was just gonna say, like, just imagine being Tom Hanks and you just got a really bad kidney stone, and then this big black man just puts his hand on your junk and just makes it disappear. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Who would you want to be in The Green Mile?
I can't say that I'd want to be either. I'd kind of like to just not have a kidney stone, because I've had a kidney stone before and they fucking suck. It's like glass in your urethra. It's not fun. Not at all.
It's fair.
I think I think I would just be the warden's wife.
Oh, you'd be the warden's wife? Okay.
Like, damn, who's here?
Oh, yes, that's right.
No one, honey. Like, damn, bring me a premium soft taco. Talk about that.
That's just me.
Anyway, I'm so like just distraught over the fact this recording has been continuously failing on us, but I'm gonna read you a scary story.
I'm ready
Start
for
the
it.
episode off.
Yes.
That was good.
And I've already read it to you two already, but to you, the listener,
Yeah.
you haven't heard this. This is called The Car Ride.
The car ride.
The Car Ride. We're so fucking stupid. We're like a 3-headed hydra that is constantly getting tangled in knots because we're too stupid to do anything else.
Yeah, it's fair.
String theory. It's like
Go on.
well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
oh,
you need
wow.
to elaborate.
Okay, I was gonna say like string theory, like I was like talking about like shit that's like smaller than quarks. I feel like I'm pretty quirky, but I don't think I'm qualified to talk about physics. But I do look like Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I mean, I feel like I should just embrace that. I actually saw something not that long ago that he was like talking about that. For me, I'm like, I want this fact checked because it'd be pretty damn incredible if it's true. They said that there's actually really a Planet 9. That there really is a 9th planet. And we're not talking about Pluto. We're not going to have a bunch of Plutonians show up and do the whole entire episode of Rick and Morty. But yeah, they said there's like a trans-Neptunian object that is another planet that goes like 50 times the distance of the outer planets, and it goes through the Oort cloud. And I'd love to just say that I saw a photo of it. Just to say that I could see some crazy stuff, and you know, it wouldn't be.
Those ties back.
I'm
lost.
I'll tie it back in because we're
okay.
talking about strings. We're talking about Hydra, and it's actually amazing that I even remembered that. But yeah, no, for me, I feel like it wouldn't be an episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens if I didn't make mention of. I'm gonna start a countdown till that fucking comet comes by, and then that's what we'll do the live episode. We'll get to NASA, go on a spaceship, land there, and instead of us wondering if something's aliens, we'll just fucking talk to an alien. We'll talk to an alien. I know that's a big promise, but you know what? If we can make it through this episode, we could talk to some aliens, and I'm all about it.
If we can make it through this episode, we can make through anything at this point.
Yes, that is very true.
Do you guys still have mango jewel pods? The last time we were here, you guys had mango jewel pods.
No, the FDA took them away from us because they hate us.
Oh.
All good things have to
well,
come
I
to an
guess
end.
we're just gonna go. It's like, wait, you're like, this is like one of the most incredible things in humanity. Like, we've never actually had like face-to-face contact with extraterrestrial kind. Like,
But mango jewel pods.
the mango jewel pods. I mean, we could go down to Mexico and get the mango camel crush, but that's not really the same.
Dude, they
Not
got
the same.
they got mango camel crush.
Yeah, they're fucking good.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't smoke cigarettes, but you're about to turn me into a menthol hound.
Yeah,
I want that.
I'm about to be on my 3rd beer, and so things are starting to become cigarette talk. Yeah, when I was down in Los Angeles to go see one of the best hardcore bands ever exists out of Los Angeles, the Ghost Inside. They I went there to go see their comeback show.
Yeah.
And one of the homies worked for United that was down there.
Yeah.
And I'm smoking Camel Crush Silvers or Blues back then. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, we're in this big group of people, and she was like, do you know they make like mango crushes in Mexico? And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, I bought like multiple cartons. And so she was handing out like packs of these cigarettes to people. And I was like, no way. Best cigarette I've had in my entire life. But literally, I would kill and eat a homeless guy just for the smell of one of them again.
And instead, the FDA wants to take away anything flavored at all, menthol or otherwise.
Yeah.
The FDA doesn't like us to have any fun.
Oh yeah, Tay, let me ask you a question about the FDA. Because, well, it's kind of in that kind of realm. Did Robert F. Kennedy find the cause of autism yet?
No, he's got 2 more weeks.
Haven't got you yet, huh? All right. You got 2 more weeks.
He's got 2 more weeks.
Well, he said he was gonna
coming for Taylor.
He's gonna find the cause of autism by September. I think he meant by the end of September. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 more weeks. Otherwise, he's not holding up his promises.
Well, politicians have never done that. Every politician I've ever known
I don't
always
know.
held up their promise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're always so trustworthy and so on top of it.
What is
It's like Monica Lewinsky, she was on top of it.
If they figure out this whole entire deal with autism, like, what are they gonna do with like socially awkward situations? Are they just not gonna exist anymore?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, now that I can think about it, they'll just never. Either that, or they'll go full tilt the other way, make everyone autistic.
Oh, dude, yes.
And so, if you're not like neurodivergent in any way, then you'll be the strange one.
Wow, I feel like, man, hopefully this doesn't go back to bite me in the ass here, but I'm like, wow, if everybody's autistic, that's job security for me, and maybe I'll get a fucking raise. That'd be great.
Yeah, but then you'll also have to be autistic.
Ah, dude, who's gonna take care of me? Who's
I don't know.
Who's gonna?
Hey, autistic people can take care of themselves.
Look at me.
Yeah, she's doing all right.
My dad is also autistic, and he's doing fine.
Yeah, and he they let him buy guns. They let her buy guns. Yeah,
They do, but I
Yes.
don't own any. I've not
Yeah.
bought one.
not yet.
Not because I have anything against them. I just don't think I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like an M203? You need one of those?
No, I don't.
Oh my god.
You say that.
When you drop that, I was like, I definitely think the ATF joined the chat.
Yeah. I mean, you can legally buy one of those.
I don't.
I think you just need a couple. We're getting like, listen, we were gonna start this episode off, but I was gonna read a story about Humpty Dumpty, but this is way more funny. I'm pretty sure you can just get a tax stamp to buy whatever you want.
Yeah, it's all about bureaucracy. It's all about what you do, who you know, and when you go about doing it.
I mean, that Whistle and Diesel guy bought a fucking Abrams.
That's actually pretty fucking
Like,
tight.
you can just buy whatever you want. There was a dude who I used to see at the PDX airport all the time.
Yeah.
Who would fly in on the commercial aviation ramp, which is on the north side for all those aviation nerds.
Yeah.
Who would fly in an Apache.
What?
He just owned an Apache. And
That's bananas.
He would just get out and he would have like flip flops on and shit, and walk around the ramp.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was always like, "Oh, the military's here." I'm like, "Nope, that's just Earl, whoever that dude is."
I was like nerding out today because I was amazed when I kept seeing F-16s flying around, and I was like, that's odd. I know that F-15s fly out of PDX, and they are the best of the Air Force because they've got a whole entire new avionics suite, and I was just like really interested to see, one, that there was F-16s flying around, and also there was a flight line emergency that got posted, and I only found out about that through the what the fuck Portland page. But I was like genuinely very interested by that because I was like, oh yeah, I'm not used to seeing you guys around here.
Yeah, isn't that fun? See, this is basically what it'd be like if everybody got autism. It would just be this.
Yes.
Isn't that great? If we just had someone here for you to talk about dogs with, me and Bill could talk about airplanes.
I mean, give
I'll
enough time.
call Ari. Hold on.
And then me and you will call Marty again, and then we'll just talk about gross shit all the time.
Hey, keep it gross.
Like, you think you could like kickflip like over a crocodile? It's like, yeah, I could do that, dude. Like, what if you like farted on it?
That's
Anyway,
pretty sick.
this is all about scary stories.
Not kick flips.
No, let me put on some ambient shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
ambiance.
Ambiance.
Is that enough ambiance?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a good ambiance? Okay.
Yeah.
I need some
understand.
ambien.
Dude, fuck. Love me some Ambien. Fuck, let's just do that. Let's just make that be the episode.
Y'all want to go sleepwalking?
Yeah, let's do that and then we'll film it. So this is called The Car Ride.
The car ride.
Car Ride. The man was standing on the side of the road, hitchhiking in the middle of a thunderstorm on a dark and moonless night. Time passed slowly, and no cars went by. It was raining so hard he could hardly see the hand in front of his face. Suddenly, he saw the headlights of a car approaching over a nearby hill. The car was moving very slowly, approaching and appearing ghost-like in the rain. It slowly and silently crept towards him and stopped. Wanting a ride real bad. The guy jumped in the car and closed the door. Only then did he realize that there was nobody behind the wheel, and there was no sound of the engine heard over the rain. Again, the car crept slowly forward, and the guy was terrified, too scared to think of jumping out and running. The guy saw that the car was approaching a sharp curve, and still too scared to jump out, he started to pray for his life. As he was sure the ghost car would go off the road and into the river, and he would surely drown. But just before the curve, a shadowy figure appeared in the driver's window, and a ghostly hand reached in and turned the steering wheel, guiding the car safely around the bend. Then, just as silently, the hand disappeared through the window, and the hitchhiker was alone again. Paralyzed with fear, the guy watched the hand reappear every time they reached a curve. Finally, the guy, in case you're wondering if there's anybody else, scared to near death, had all he could take and jumped out of the car and ran to town. Wet and in shock, he ran into the nearest bar and told everyone about his supernatural experience. A silence enveloped the room, and everybody got goosebumps when they realized the guy was telling the truth about the strange car and the ghostly hand that guided it on its way. Just then, two men walked into the bar. They were dripping wet, and as they took off their rain gear, they looked around the room. Their eyes came to rest on the hitchhiker. "Look," one of the men said. "There's the idiot who jumped in our car and we're pushing it through the rain." Scary indeed. Was that scary, everyone?
That was pretty scary.
Yes, it was.
Was it as scary the second time?
Yeah.
What was that? What was scarier, that or the fucking hour and a half of technical difficulties?
That story, I think, actually.
Yeah.
I think that was scarier.
I think the hour and a half of technical difficulties was not scary. It was fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Infuriating, some would may say.
I had another story in here that I was going to read, but then it ended up not being what I thought it was going to be, but it was still just a really fun thing. I'm not going to read it. I'll just read you the title, but it was called Gun Dog Paranormal Canine Unit.
Oh.
That sounds like the best Adult Swim show ever.
It's fantastic read. It is one of the funniest things that I've read, but it's not scary.
Huh?
But I'm not gonna read it because the other one was actually scary. But yeah, there's this. The whole premise was the lady that she was a detective for like R.I.P.D.
Okay.
And then the chief is like, "You're a loose cannon.
You're a loose kid.
Giving you a new partner," and then it's a dog with a gun, and then goes up and starts fucking blasting people.
Oh
It's
my
awesome.
god.
Anyway, Tay, do you want to read your story?
Yeah.
Keep it in the holster there, Cujo.
Yeah, so
Never mind. Bite my tongue on that one. Yeah.
this one is by Reddit user Tinka Dreams of Wings.
Tinka drinks wings.
I don't know. I assume that means she's
Drinks a lot of Red Bull.
well, or that, or she's just
your
dreaming of
piss
chicken
is-
wings.
Well, tinks of drinks. Dreams
Tinka dreams
Tinka-
of wings. Does she want wings, or does she dream of like chicken wings?
That's a good question.
Do you dream of chicken wings?
Often. That's one of my favorite foods.
I got paid today, so I definitely think I might get some Popeyes. I'm not gonna lie.
We have a wing stop up the road too.
Oh, I had Wingstop not that long ago, and God, I'm really not doing. I'm not doing my people any service here.
What do you
Talking
mean?
about so many fucking chicken spots. Oh my God!
What do you mean, Bill?
Well, you know what? Thank you for that. I don't know what I mean. I did happen to eat KFC on Monday too. God. So many choices that there's actually another chicken place that I like. It's called Azel's, and I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna detract from your story.
You're good.
with my chicken talk. So
Well, I was just curious of what kind of wings she's dreaming of.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about those wings. I like lemon peppers.
I'm gonna be honest. One of my favorite wings I've ever had on a consistent basis was Hooters wings.
Oh, Hoot!
Hooters had the best classic wings. They were nice and crispy enough, but that's not important. What is important is Taylor's story.
Yes, let's hear it.
I was gonna say we can go to the Hooters in the hotel, the Oyo Hotel, when we go to Vegas.
Perfect.
So this is called the Dead Made Wish. We lost our son on a quiet Thursday afternoon. I was at work watching the hands tick towards 3 p.m. That was the estimated time of death. I didn't know it then, but as the second hand jumped past 12, his tiny body went soft and the life that could have been dissipating into the air. Heat stroke, the coroner said. I know better. You see, a mile past the end of our town, I
Scary.
lost it. I freaking lost my
Mile
story.
past the end of our town, there is a Popeye's chicken,
There's
and I left him in the car for hours.
there's
perused the menu.
There's a bridge over a canyon. The sign says Kingston Crawford Bridge, but the locals call it the Bridge of Wishes. Be careful what you say while crossing the Bridge of Wishes. My grandfather used to say, the canyon god likes to grant wishes, but not in the way you always expect. My wife Anna never believed it. Small town, mumbo jumbo, she said dismissively. We crossed the bridge last weekend, me driving as Anna sat in the back seat with Colton, her window rolled down for fresh air. He was being fussy, and she hadn't gotten more than a handful of minutes of sleep the night before. Shh, she said as she tried to rock him. He cried harder. Shh, shh, Mama's here. I could hear her voice fraying like a thin piece of cloth being unraveled. Colton filled his lungs and shrieked. Colton, Anna shouted right as we got to the middle of the bridge. I wish you would just shut up. I wish. I rolled up the window, but it was too late. The words bouncing off the cliff walls sank toward the distant river. So when it happened, I instantly knew. The canyon god had granted Anna's wish. I don't blame her. We were both tired and she wasn't thinking straight. Besides, I can make it right. There's another part to the legend of the Bridge of Wishes, one that is only whispered in dark corners. The canyon god is capricious, but if you prepare an offering that pleases him, he is more than likely to grant your wish. What pleases him above all else is a live human sacrifice. I've been standing on the bridge for hours. I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm scared. The wind is so cold and the river is so far away. A car door slams. What are you doing? Anna cries, and I turn to find her on the other side of the parapet, her eyes wild behind the hair whipping across her face. Your wish killed Colton, I say simply. Mine will bring him back. Her mouth drops open and then she laughs, an ugly, strangled sound that shreds her throat. A wish didn't kill Colton, she screams. You did, by forgetting him in the car. No. I wish for Colton to be alive, I whisper, and I step off. I know what happened on that bright summer day. There are whistles like a broken harmonica. A wish killed my boy. The river rushes to meet me. It has to be true.
Whoa.
Oh,
Was that
buddy.
as scary the second time you guys read it? Or
But
you guys
who
heard
was
it?
driving the car?
Anna.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's scary.
A woman driving a car?
Definitely wasn't super depressing.
Well.
My heart is beating out of its chest.
Yeah. That was super scary today. It was scary the
You're
second
welcome.
time. Bill, did you have your stories?
Yes, I did. I want to make this known. This is my first time trying to read a story because every time it has failed otherwise. And we're at 24 minutes. I don't want to jinx it, but here we are. This is The Puppy in the Basement. This comes from Haunted Rooms. It is a Reddit story that is super creepy. Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy, so I opened the basement door and tipped down a bit. But I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad, and I cried. Then Mommy told me never to go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noise like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an ugly fucking puppy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a disturbing pup.
And my story was sad?
Yeah. Yours was super sad. It was about a kid dying of heat stroke in a car, but not really.
That one's of a fucking...
A deformed child.
Well, not even deformed.
We don't know.
A kid with his hands and feet cut off?
Quick, Tate, what kind of dog is that? Tell me, what kind of dog is it? What kind of dog do you think it is? No, don't. I'm going to spill this beer all over the fucking couch.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm being harassed.
I literally am not doing anything. He's being...
Is it a Zolo?
Hey.
No!
Good one.
Also, it's Shola.
Okay, what's up? What kind of dog do you think it was, Bill?
I think that type of dog is definitely a dog that could use some love. Like that's like the roughest rough of like the kill shelter that needs a little bit of help.
Roughest rough.
I didn't even think about that until you said it.
For our next scary story, we have come from user Forgotten Well on Reddit.com, titled "My Husband Did Worse Than Cheat." Let me get in a frame a little better, so I'm not off to the side. In hindsight, it was dreadfully obvious that he was cheating. It felt almost cliche. Oh, you have a work trip out of town? One call to his secretary disproved that. My husband hadn't done laundry once in 12 years, but suddenly he was coming home from work trips with clean clothes. Her name was Rachel, by the way, and she was 10 years too young for him. The worst part? I would have forgave him. I think that if we had gone to therapy and really worked through it, I could have overlooked everything. Until I saw the receipt. I was always following his purchases. I had always been the one who had handled our finances, and I saw a withdrawal from an oddly located ATM. Cash means you're hiding something. I drove to the ATM. It was next to a hardware store. There was only one cashier. When I showed him a picture of my husband, he was able to print me off a copy of his receipt. 2 saws, that could have been innocent, a 50-gallon barrel, starting to get suspicious, and several boxes of rat poison. Ah. Would you be surprised to learn we don't have rats? I checked Rachel's Instagram, and she was beaming over a ring my husband had gotten her. I'm sure I paid for. She was, quote, excited for the future. So, I planned our camping trip. I told my husband it's been a long time since we did anything special. I wanted to go on a little adventure. I planned everything. Bought a brand new tent and sleeping bags, among other things. He didn't want to seem suspicious, so he came along. Cedar Pass campgrounds and the Badlands. Isn't it perfect? We were sitting around our LED lantern when I told him, I got you a present. Oh, for what? I handed over the poorly wrapped shoebox for our anniversary. But that's not for another month. I'm surprised he remembers. I know, it just felt nice. He shredded the paper and opened the box. Before we can comprehend the ominous rattling sound, the rattlesnake bit him in the face in a blink. Ah, what the fuck, you bitch! You were just bitten by a prairie rattlesnake. Incredibly deadly without the antivenom. A shame we're 3 hours from the nearest hospital. What the fuck? I pull out a vial of liquid that shimmers in the white lantern's glow. I do have some antivenom here. He reaches out his hands desperately. First, tell me the truth. Were you planning on killing me? What? I shake the vial. Don't lie to me. He freezes, takes 5 seconds to think, and then simply nods his head. I throw him the vial. He drinks it greedily. Rattlesnake bites are rarely lethal. What? I can't say the same for what you just drank. You can drive dozens of miles in South Dakota and not see another person. It's the perfect place to bury a body. Now, I just gotta take care of Rachel.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And then, I carved my name into the side of his pretty little four-wheel drive. Carved my name into his leather seats.
Carrie, sing me a song.
Hopefully Sony doesn't come for us.
If they do, I'll just cut it. It was
UMG.
it was a magical moment, maybe just for us. But yeah, was that a good scary story, y'all?
It was a good scary story.
Perfect.
You ready for the next one?
I am.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is by MG_Ethan. And of course from Reddit.
Okay.
We were evicted by the CDC. One warm summer night, the wife and I were stargazing on the back patio, enjoying the splurging of a lazy takeout dinner. A bright radiance lit up the sky, directing our attention to a shooting star which streaked low across the horizon. Once we realized the trajectory to be dangerously low and directly in our path, we panicked and ran back inside. Moments later, we heard a loud explosion as the cosmic spectacle came crashing into the earth. We couldn't find the meteorite anywhere in our overgrown backyard, not with flashlights or the help from daylight the following morning. We did have about 5 acres of property, so I shrugged it off and assumed the meteorite must have been blasted into tiny smithereens. Just a few days later, she would discover the impact site. "Honey, come quick and look at this." Rushing outside to see what got my wife so alarmed, I was greeted by an unassuming rock situated in a shallow impact crater towards the rear of the property.
An unassuming rock.
Hunching down to get a better look, my jaw almost dropped at the sight of tiny mushrooms sprouting from the rock. Dozens, maybe hundreds of little fungal life forms swayed back and forth on the rock like a blade of grass in a gentle breeze. Their caps were round and bulbous at the top, sleek and curvy at the bottom, and sported a curious glowing purple hue with deep brownish spots. "We need to contact someone. This might be an alien life form." She greeted my enthusiasm with a skeptical expression, yet nodded in agreement. Several phone calls later, and people dressed in hazmat gear came visiting our house the very next day. After extensive testing and quarantine, we were told to pack up and leave immediately. The next few weeks were rough living, barely getting by in cheap hotels with limited supplies. Growing tired of waiting for an update, the wife and I drove by our old property and found the place totally gated off with biohazard signs all over the place. Our home had a large white tent draped over it. Even our neighbors, who lived miles down the road, were told to vacate the area. The news hadn't mentioned anything about it at all. Returning to our hotel later that night, I had to break the news about 3 very difficult things to my wife. 1, we only had enough money to stay one more night. 2, all the food we brought was running out. And 3, the painful, glowing blue rash on my chest was spreading.
What the
shit.
fuck? There's probably an ointment for that.
Yes, there
For
probably is.
alien life forms taking over your body?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd say the other thing to keep in mind is, don't eat fucking mushrooms that are from outer space.
He didn't eat them, he just looked at them.
Oh, well. That's your first mistake.
Yeah, because I can't just look at them. I'm definitely going to want to take those. I'm going to be like, oh my god, like imagine they'll be out of this world.
This is why we don't take Bill camping, is because he eats all the mushrooms that he finds. And usually it's not good.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. No, I'm like Charlie Sheen. Where are the drugs? Bring them to me.
He's like searching around, like.
Yeah, it's funny.
the
A lot of people
truffle
don't know
dogs?
this. I've actually watched Bill eat an entire grizzly bear in one bite.
You know the truffle
A lot of
hunting
people don't know
dogs?
this. What?
You know, like the truffle hunting dogs?
Yeah.
That's Bill for mushrooms.
Oh shit, Bill.
Wow.
What kind of mushrooms?
I'd like to think that I take the ones that help me level up, and they make me get even bigger than I am, and then I just go around stomping on people that I think are mushrooms, and then I have to save women from castles, and I fight fucking lizards. I don't think I'm doing mushrooms. I think I'm doing meth. Like, what the fuck?
I was gonna say I think you're finding a psilocybin. That's what
Yes.
you're finding. Yeah.
I
Finding
think
liberty caps.
he's finding those.
I'm finding myself.
Sometimes he finds mushrooms that he definitely should not be eating, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's me with a lot of stuff.
That's also true. That's why he can't go camping either.
Yeah, I got full raccoon energy. I'm just like, I like to.
He's like digging through the trash, and I gotta grab him by the shirt collar and pull him back. He's just.
Oh my god.
He gets really upset. That's why we don't go camping anymore, because it's becoming a real problem.
Not since the accident.
It's becoming a real problem.
Yeah.
A park ranger yelled at him once, and that coincides with the accident.
Yeah, it
so we
actually
don't
really hurt my feelings.
I was gonna say this definitely I had thought about. I've been seeing on TikTok how there was this rock that landed in Panama, and this guy has been shooting video of it like every single day, and it looks like it could be fake, but like this black goo started creeping out of it, and it like looks legitimately like venom. And he has a major following. There's like a whole bunch of influencers that have been like looking at his videos. I don't know if it's true, but if it's anything like what you just said, I would say clear the area, burn the shit down, and run for your fucking life.
I don't know. Venom would be
Put
kind
it
of
in
cool.
your mouth.
Venom would be kind of cool though.
It would
Like
be
the
super cool.
Symbiotes.
Yeah.
I think it'd actually be pretty dope.
I think I'd rather it'd be like even better if like Tom Hardy could be like my symbiote. I just turn into him. That'd be great.
Sick. That'd be fucking awesome, dude. If I could have he was a former wrestler, right?
Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm thinking of the other Hardy brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, damn it. I was gonna say, I was like, if I could have a wrestler, it'd be Rey Mysterio. I want to shift into a 5'5" short Mexican, not like a Libre guy, and then just like go around and like 619 people all the time. That'd be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking Jeff Hardy.
I'm thinking of Jeff Hardy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Jeff and Matt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Tom.
Damn it.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's the other Hardy brother. That's the black sheep of the Hardy family.
The Hardy Boys.
Yeah, they were like, "You'll never be a wrestler," and he's like, "I'll have to go to Hollywood and make millions of dollars." It's like, you're disgusting. You're just like John Cena and The Rock, and just keep naming people over and over again. Bill, do you have another story?
I do. I have a double special here because this one's kind of short.
Double special.
Double horror, double the fun, double the thrill.
Double
Oh,
Bill.
It's the thrill of Bill. Hey, that's also my social.
Oh,
That's what I made the joke of. Because you said the thrill, and I was like, oh, Bill.
I love to make you laugh. Put the oil.
We love to make you laugh. So there's something under the bed. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed."
Whoa.
What? Who could have seen it? I'm seeing double. Which one's my son?
Oh, okay.
This next one, another fun Reddit one. This was a little bit longer, and it is the chair. So make sure you sit down for this one.
And if you can't sit down, then you need to like
Just sit on the floor.
Just sit on the floor.
Yeah,
Just sit on the ground. I don't care if you're in the middle of downtown. Just sit on the ground.
it's like, why are you making this so difficult? Just like fucking sit down. Like, oh my God. The chair. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard.
I love climbing.
But our favorite thing was the ghost. Who the fuck says that? But okay, let's see here. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. And Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward, across the room towards us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother was just wanting to be near us. Years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room. Did it get colder in here? Or is it just me?
Whoa. That was fucking scary, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa, but you guys have been reading all these stories, you know, and I'm gonna top it all with the scariest story I have.
Okay.
It's called Monkeys for Sale.
No.
Oh my goodness.
By Rosie 1000.
Rosie 1000.
From Wizard 101 Central. The same author as the Hitchhiker story.
Okay.
I'm gonna adjust the mic here, sorry. I apologize. I saw a sign in the window of the pet store. It read, "Monkeys for sale." The store was selling them for 5 cents a piece. That's one word.
What a bargain.
I thought it was odd since they were normally a couple thousand each. I bought 200. I like monkeys.
That's a lot of monkeys.
A lot of monkeys.
Yeah.
It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
I took my 200 monkeys home. I have a big car. I let one drive. He wasn't very smart. In fact, none of them were really bright. They kept punching themselves in the face. I laughed. Then they punched me in the face. I stopped laughing. I herded them into my room. They didn't adapt very well to their new home. They screeched and jabbered. They hurled themselves off the couch at high speed and slammed into the wall face first. Almost humorous at first. It became boring after an hour. 2 hours later, I found out why all the monkeys were on sale. They all died. No apparent reason. They all just sort of dropped dead. Why are you laughing? This is scary.
Okay, sorry.
Kind of like when you buy a goldfish and it dies 5 hours later. Damn cheap monkeys. I don't know what to do. There were 200 dead monkeys laying all over my room, on the bed, in the dresser, hanging from my bookcase. It looked like I had 200 throw rugs. I had to get rid of them because before my parents came home. I tried to flush one down the toilet. Didn't work. Got stuck. Now I had one dead wet monkey and 199 dead dry monkeys.
Uh-oh.
I tried pretending that they were just stuffed animals. They worked for a while. That is, until they began to decompose. Started to smell real bad. Had to use the bathroom. But there was a dead monkey in the toilet, and I didn't want to call the plumber. I was too embarrassed. I tried to slow down the decomposition by freezing them. Unfortunately, there was only enough room for the monkey for 2 freezers at a time, so I had to change them every 30 seconds. That wasn't very efficient. I also had to eat all the food in the freezer, so it didn't go bad. I tried burning them. Little did I know the bed was flammable. I had to extinguish the fire. Now I had 1 dead, wet monkey in my toilet, 2 dead, frozen monkeys in my freezer, and 197 dead, charred monkeys in a pile on my bed. The smell was getting worse. I became irritated by my inability to dispose of my monkeys. I was so irritated because I couldn't use the bathroom. I punched one of my dead monkeys in the face. I felt better. I tried throwing them away, but the garbage man said that he wasn't allowed to dispose of charred monkeys. I told them I had a wet one, but he said he couldn't take that either. I didn't bother asking about the frozen ones. I finally arrived at a solution. I gave them out as Christmas gifts. My friends didn't know quite what to say. I pretended they liked the dead monkeys, but I could tell they were lying. Ingrates. So I punched them in the face. I like monkeys.
I just gotta keep it honest with you. At some point, I went to my camera because I was just transfixed by like, what in the world is this person doing?
That might have been one of the scariest stories I have ever read in my entire life. I'm also fixing cameras.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'm like dead ass thinking to myself, like, that, if you're not on the spectrum for that one, I don't know what you would be, because that is a lot of monkeys. That's a lot of problems. And most of the time, people are just worried about too many monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell over and broke his head.
Yeah. What'd you guys think? Was that super scary?
That was pretty scary, actually.
I think it was scary enough that Chester over there, he's doing a little bit of chirp. I just saw him do it there a second.
Yep.
He got as high as yellow. He was a yellow fellow.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like I said, it could be because of the XLR cords, but I feel like we tested that the other day.
Yeah.
And
Do anything.
it wasn't doing it.
Like, and my phone is down here, so like clearly.
I don't know. It's certainly strange. Tay, do you have your next story?
I do.
I have a longer story, but I don't know if we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
This is by user creepy-culture-2357.
Oh.
Called.
Shorten down.
I'm sure I could have said it faster and it would have been fine.
No, not you. Them. Shorten that name down.
That's the name they wanted.
Okay.
That's be like that.
They just chose that life.
I miss my 200 monkeys.
So this is called Live at Midnight. Dude, we're gonna blow up. Tyler grinned at the camera, ring light glaring in his eyes. First midnight live stream in the haunted house. Stop saying that, Sophia muttered, adjusting her hoodie. It's not haunted, it's just abandoned. The chat scrolled fast on Tyler's laptop. Go deeper shows the basement, do Bloody Mary. See, Tyler said, they love it. I held the flashlight. Let's just do 10 minutes and leave. This place smells like mold. Tyler ignored me and pushed open a rotten door. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the creepiest house in Ridgeway. He swung the camera. Say hi, Sophia. Say hi, Dylan. Hi, we mumbled. The chat spammed. Look behind you. Sophia froze. Tyler, did you tell anyone we were here? Nope. He smirked at the screen. Nice try. But my stomach tightened. The comment popped up again. Behind you. The floorboards groaned. We all whipped around. Nothing. Just empty shadows. Okay, that was creepy, Sophia said, and Tyler laughed nervously. Probably the viewers. They're just messing with us. We moved into the living room. Dust coated the torn furniture. A flashlight beam cut across peeling wallpaper, and then the laptop chimed. A new viewer joined. Username Dylan is next. My blood ran cold. Tyler, how... He spun the laptop. Bro, is this you trolling? I shook my head, throat dry. The chat exploded. Yes, Dylan, next. End it, Sophia hissed. But Tyler leaned closer to the mic. Who are you? The screen glitched, the stream froze, but not on us. On a still image. Me, standing alone in the basement, except I wasn't there. Sophia slammed the laptop shut. We're leaving. Tyler grabbed it back. No, this is gold.
This is gold.
This is gold. He reopened it. The stream was still live, but now it showed all three of us, only we weren't moving. We were sitting in the living room, staring blankly at the screen, eyes black. That's not us, I whispered. The chat slowed. Only one message repeated line after line. Stay live forever. The ring light flickered and cold air swept the room. Guys, Sophia whispered, we're not recording anymore. She was right. The laptop camera light was off, but the stream was still running. When I leaned closer, I realized the faces on screen weren't frozen. They were smiling.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Give me your parents' credit card. Like, share, subscribe for tier 3 sub on Twitch.
In case you're wondering what it liked if the HGO network did a Twitch stream, it would be that.
Be like, give me your parents' credit card.
I would dress myself up like a little goblin. I'll paint myself green for a live stream. I've done worse things for the internet.
Do it.
You weren't on that episode, but I'm sure I've talked about with you where for the episode where for the doc where I spent 2 weeks learning how to make balloon animals.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I came on as a clown for a bit that lasted 10 seconds. I would do that again.
That's the definition of method acting, bro.
Yeah, I am a professional actor, while I am not a professional documentarian, according to one guy with a really angry email. Professional actor.
It's different.
Yes. Bill, do you have a scary story
Yes, I do.
to frighten us with?
Yes, this is from Reedsy Prompts. It's called Echoes of the Broken, and it is by Lillian Ether. The man, pardon me, I had a bubble there.
That's a long title.
Yeah, no.
The man. Bubble there. You warm, Tay?
I am warm. It
She's
is
getting
warm
so
in here.
scared.
Yes, we're getting so scared.
It's so scary.
Echoes of the Broken. It'll scare you to the core. The man tied to the chair in front of me was unconscious and naked. Not for much longer.
Ooh.
Well, I hope so. I can't be standing like this all night. He's not the only one I need to take care of tonight. But what I was planning for him promises to be exciting. The man growls as he opens his eyes, probably shocked by the fact that he's stuck to a chair and the large tarpaulin under him. The show was about to begin. Edward Miller, glad to meet you. I'm Stella White. You surely have no clue of who I am, but don't worry, we'll get to knowing each other very quickly. Let me out! I'm sure you know why you're here, don't you, darling? No! Let me out! Don't make me laugh. Think about it harder. As I walk around him with deliberate steps, I retrieve my precious 8-inch knife from the side of my black knee-length boots. I press the tip of it gently on his shoulder, sliding it all the way down to his wrist, leaving a bloody line along the entire length of his arm. Get the fuck off me, you slut! That's what it's written. I couldn't stop myself. Oh, sweetie, the fun hasn't even started yet. He doesn't stop growling in pain as I rip every inch of skin he has on his arms, and I enjoy every second of it. His muscle fibers twitch when it gets in contact with the air, making it even funnier. Who would have thought that this huge man will be that sweaty and trembling while being tortured? As I take a step back, admiring my project midway through, the blood covering the floor made me flinch for a second. That much blood always takes me back to that night when my mother killed my father. Wow, it's a family ordeal.
A lot going on.
Yeah, I was 8 years old. There was blood on the floor, the walls, the kitchen table, the curtain. It was everywhere. My mother was standing there looking over the dead body of my father, the knife still in her hand. When she looked at me, I cried. I tried to run and hide with all the strength I had, but nothing. I was in luck, in place, unable to do anything else than cry. This man was never playing with me, nor paying attention to what I was doing, but he was still my father. I loved him, but the woman I thought I knew just killed him right in front of me. I didn't recognize her. The life had quite taken her eyes, and she was paralyzed. Later that week, she was taken to jail, and I ended up in a foster home. I never understood why she did that, and what could even justify killing someone. At that moment, I promised myself that I will be nothing close to her, and kept her away from me forever, until one day, the temptation won. She was there, on the other side of the glade. Wow, this person did a whole bunch of misspellings. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to roast you, but
what do you mean? It's perfect. I'm fucking bricked right now.
Okay.
What?
Okay. She was there on the other side of the glass in a plain orange jumpsuit, dark circles under her eyes, and her hair was wildly tangled, untouched by a brush for far too long. We looked at each other in silence for what felt like an eternity. I took the phone on the side and tried to come up with a good sentence, but all I said was, "Why?" I didn't have a choice, honey. Yes, you did. We always have the choices, and you don't get to call me that anymore. I wanted to protect us, honey. That has always been my motive. Please don't doubt it. I always loved you. You killed him. How could you possibly want to protect anyone? That night I killed him, he had raped me. It says tree time. I think it's 3 times, but he raped me tree time.
Okay.
Maybe it's the trees. Who knows? Watch out. And got bored of me. He said I wasn't tight enough. Oh my God! He said I wasn't tight enough for him anymore, and he was on his way to take your innocence. Why did I laugh at that? I couldn't let that happen. I preferred to be in jail for the remainder of my days than knowing that he did this to my baby. I couldn't carry this burden. I didn't know how to react. I'd thought for years about her motive, but I would never have guessed that. How could the man I defended all along end up being the worst motherfucker? I couldn't bear the fact that he abused my mother multiple times. How could he have done that shit and pretend he loved her? When I looked at her, she was staring into nothing, her gaze drifting far beyond the room, trapped deep inside her own thoughts. Still no clue why you're here, darling? Her screams, not answering my question, too preoccupied with the pain in his arm. Did you forget about the 47 young girls you brutally assaulted? Just to make it even worse, none of them were over 12 years old. You stole their childhood and their innocence from them. When you raped them, you made them think that their body isn't a safe space and that their body no longer belongs to them. They were babies, and since I can't make you feel exactly what you did to them, I'm going to make you feel 10 times worse. Are you ready for the grand finale, dear? I took my blade right under his balls. He looked at me, mortified. I smiled back at him, and with a flick of the wrist, I cut them off. They landed in a pool of blood and a sploosh. He was so shook, his mouth was wide open, and his eyes still couldn't believe what just happened. Don't worry, my dear, the fun isn't finished yet. You'll have to eat them. We can't let those saggy balls stay on the floor with all that blood, can we? I took one of his balls, cut it in half, and shoved it into his mouth. I repeat the same process with the other half without letting him swallow them. I sit in front of him, waiting for him to choke with his own balls. Lillian Ether. What a scary story.
What
God
a fucking
damn.
roller coaster. That
Yeah.
was fucking awesome. That was my favorite story so far. Legitimately. That was a roller coaster. I was
Yes.
not prepared for any of that.
Yes.
That was fucking incredible.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, whoa, it got real dark. And then it was like, Ken's back. She's like the fucking female Punisher. That's the coolest thing ever.
Oh my God.
What a
Yes.
gangster. Oh man, that was awesome. What a wild fucking story that was.
Not what I was expecting to come from Bill. To be honest.
No.
Hey, I don't like to disappoint. What can I say?
I have a longer story.
Okay.
That's basically what I have left, and then I mean I got the
I have one more, so.
I have the Gundog Paranormal Canine Unit I can also read, but that's not really scary. It's more of an action sequence.
Well,
It's up to you. Do you guys want an actual scary story?
we can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Um,
I want you to scare the balls off of me,
Dude, that
so that I have to feel like I
I thought it was gonna end like a fade to black kind of scene of like sticking the knife into his nuts, and like no, we're gonna describe him eating his own balls. That's fucking awesome.
yeah.
God, I love horror writers. just the best.
Yeah.
Like in an like action movie, that would have been like fade to black scene. Nah,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna describe him getting his balls like chewed on. It's awesome. Do you have a short one, Tay? Is yours short?
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
You want to do yours, and then I'll do mine, and then if Bill has another, and then.
I do.
And then if we get to the point where we have a little time, I'll read the Paranormal Canine Unit.
Sounds good.
So this comes from user Gamal Frank. It's called "The Rangers warned me not to look at the man by peripheral vision. I'm a photographer, so I decided to take his picture instead. I'm a wildlife photographer. It's a career built on patience, stillness, and the ability to become just another silent, uninteresting part of the landscape. I've spent weeks at a time utterly alone in the vast, remote corners of national forests. My only companions were those of the whispers of the wind and the patient clicking of my camera shutter. I have been waiting 14 hours in a crumpled blind, motionless, just for a 3-second glimpse of a reclusive pine marten. That's how I thrive on that solitude, and how I love the deep and profound quiet of the wild. I always thought it's where I feel most myself. At least it used to be. Now the silence is the most terrifying thing I know, because it's never truly silent. And the solitude is just a lie, because I am never, ever truly alone. This all started 3 months ago. I was on a long-term project in a massive, sparsely populated national forest. It is a primeval sort of place, full of ancient Douglas firs that tower like cathedral spires, the tops lost in perpetual mist. My goal was to capture a portfolio of the elusive Cascade Red Fox, a beautiful but notoriously shy creature. For the first few weeks, it was business as usual. I'd rise before dawn, hike miles into the backcountry and set up, waiting for the forest to offer up its secrets. One evening, I got the shot I'd been dreaming of. A magnificent male fox, its color of its coat was of a dying fire, paused in a sun-draping clearing, its head cocked and listening. The light was perfect. The composition was something else. I rattled off a few dozen frames, my heart soaring with pure electric thrill that only photographers know. Back in my base camp that night, I eagerly loaded up the photos in my laptop. I scrolled through, and there it was. The money shot. The fox was perfectly in focus. Its eyes were sharp and intelligent. The background was a beautiful, soft bouquet of green and gold. It was perfect, except for the smudge. In the upper right-hand corner of the frame, there was a strained vertical blur of white light. It was out of focus. Just an artifact, but it was annoying. It looked like a lens flare, but the sun was behind me. It made no sense. I checked the other frames. It was there, the exact same spot, in every single one. A persistent ghostly slash against the otherwise perfect image. I sighed, chalking it up to some weird internal reflection of my lens. And I made a mental note to clean my camera gear thoroughly. A week later, I was photographing a herd of elk by a river at dawn. Again, a perfect morning. The mist was rising off the water. The great animals were silhouetted against the light. It was a beautiful scene. I took hundreds of photos. And when I reviewed them later, the smudge was there. Different location, different time of day, different lens, but the same vertical out-of-focus slash of white light, always in the upper periphery of the frame. Now I was more than annoyed. I was obsessed. I thought to myself that it was a consistent technical problem. Tell me about it. Something I needed to solve. Was it a scratch on my camera sensor? A flaw in the shutter mechanism? I spent 2 full days troubleshooting, running diagnostics, taking test shots of blank surfaces. I found nothing. My gear was, by all accounts, in perfect working order. The only way to solve it was to recreate the conditions. Went back to the clearing where I photographed the fox. I set up my camera on a tripod in the exact same spot, exact same time of day. I framed the shot identically, and then I waited. My goal was to see the flare appear through the viewfinder before I took the picture. I sat there for hours, still as a stone, my eyes pressed to the camera. The sun draped the clearing. Dappled the clearing, excuse me. A gentle breeze was rustling the leaves. The forest was quiet. But as the afternoon wore on, a new feeling began to creep in. A low-grade, primal hum of anxiety. It was the feeling of being watched. It was a sensation every creature in the wild knows. A prickling at the back of your neck, a sudden cold awareness that you are no longer just an observer, but you are also the observed. I slowly and carefully scanned the tree line, my eyes searching for a glint of an eye, a twitch of the ear. I saw nothing, but the feeling grew stronger. It was coming from my skin. On the very edge of my vision, I kept my head perfectly still, my breathing slow and even. But my eyes darted to the right, and I saw it, just for a fraction of a second. It was a tall, wavering shape, like a column of a heat haze. It was the shape of a man, long and thin, and it was hanging upside down from a thick, high branch of a fir tree, its form indistinct and shimmering. The moment my brain registered the impossible image, I snapped my head to look directly at it, and there was nothing there. Just the tree branch, empty against the sky. The forest was still. The feeling of being watched was gone. I sat there, my heart hammering against my ribs, my mouth dry. I told myself I was overtired, that the solitude was getting to me. I was seeing things. It was a trick of the light, a figment of a sleep-deprived imagination. I packed up my gear, unnerved, and hiked back to my truck. I needed a break. I needed to see other people. I drove to the nearest ranger station, a rustic little cabin that served as the park's administration hub. There was 2 rangers on duty, an older, grizzled man with a kind, wary face, and a younger woman. I made some small talk, bought a new map I didn't need, and then, trying to sound casual, I asked the question. Hey, this is gonna sound weird, I started, but have you guys ever seen strange things in the woods, like tricks of the light? The older ranger looked up from his paperwork. Speech impediment kills me. He and the younger ranger exchanged a look. It was brief, knowing glance, but it was enough. What kinds of tricks of the light are we talking about? He asked in a low, calm rumble. I felt like an idiot. But I pressed on. Like a tall, shimmering shape of a man hanging upside down from a tree. You'd only see it out of the corner of your eye. The young ranger's friendly expression tightened. The older just sighed a long, tired sound and leaned back in his chair. The upside down man, he said. And it wasn't a question. Yeah, we've seen him. Most of the folks who spend enough time out here have. A wave of cold relief, immediately followed by a wave of colder dread, washed over me. I wasn't crazy. But that meant this thing was real. What is it? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Don't know, he said, shaking his head. Don't want to know. It's just a feature of the landscape, I guess. A weird local phenomenon. Like a magnetic anomaly or a patch of strange fog. But what does it do? Nothing, he said, leaning forward, fixing on me with a serious, perpetual gaze. It does absolutely nothing, as long as you do nothing too. That's the one and only rule, son. You can see him out of the corner of your eye, then keep looking ahead. You feel him watching you. You pretend you don't. You don't acknowledge him, you don't encourage him, and you sure as hell don't go looking for him. He's a thing you're only supposed to see by accident. And you start making it on purpose, that's where you get in trouble. Trouble? I asked. What kind of trouble? We don't know. The young ranger chimed in, her voice tense. No one's been stupid enough to find out. It's just common knowledge, professional courtesy among those of us who work out here. You leave him alone, and he leaves you alone. I left the ranger station with my mind reeling. Their warning was stark and absolute. But it's also given me something else, a validation and a name. The Upside Down Man. And the smudge in my photos, it was a vertical shape of a light. A shape like a man hanging. It was him. My camera couldn't see him. My camera could see him, even when I couldn't. And that's where I made my mistake. My fatal, arrogant mistake. I'm a photographer. My entire life, my entire purpose is to see things, to capture them. To be told that there was something out there, a real observable phenomenon that I was supposed to ignore, was an anathema to me. It was an irresistible challenge. The Rangers' warnings were just a dare. I'm gonna fucking hit myself with a hammer. Gonna reverse my own speech impediment that I had as a kid. It comes back every so often, I swear. No, it's when I read too much. I went back into the woods, but this time I was hunting for him. Cue the tense ambient music. It's already on. My entire methodology changed. I'd find a spot and wait, not for a particular animal to appear, but for that familiar, prickling sensation on my skin. The moment I felt it, I wouldn't move my head. I'd keep my eyes locked forward, but I would raise my camera, aiming the lens not at what I was looking at, but in the periphery. At the space where I felt he was, and I would shoot. The first photos were chilling. The vertical smudge just grew. It was a brilliant, searing slash of overexposed white light. Sharp and defined, it looked like a wound in the fabric of the photograph, a tear through which a sterile, featureless light was pouring. With every photo I took, this slash grew wider and brighter and more aggressive. And it was annoying, and I was annoying it. And it was screaming back at me through my own camera. I became possessed by it. I stopped eating properly. I barely slept. I was fueled by a manic, oppressive energy. I filled my memory card So I filled memory card after memory card with impossible images. The creature was always there, just at the edge of my sight, a shimmering, wavering promise. And I kept shooting, trying to get a clearer image, trying to resolve the blinding white light into a discernible form. Then, my camera died. I was deep in a mossy canyon. The feeling of being watched was palpable, heavy pressure on my right side. I raised my camera and aimed it to the periphery and pressed the shutter. The resulting image on the small LCD screen was a pure, blinding white. A completely blank frame. I tried again. White. I aimed it at my own feet. White. He had broken it. Or more accurately, he had filled it. My camera could only now see the blinding, featureless light of his own presence. It was useless. Any sane person would have stopped then, but they would have taken the ranger's warning to heart and gotten the hell out of there. But I wasn't sane anymore. My obsession had burned through my reason. The loss of my camera just felt like a challenge, and now I would have to use my own eyes. I continued the hunt. I would walk through the woods until I felt the familiar presence. Then I would stop, and I would try to see him. I'd keep my head pointed forward, but I would strain my eyes to the side, trying to resolve the shimmering, wavering shape in my peripheral vision. I would try to hold it, to focus on it, to force it into clarity. And that's when the smudge moved from my photos to my own vision. It started as a small, barely noticeable floater in the corner of my right eye. A tiny, translucent blur. I assume it was just an eye strain, but it didn't go away. And every time I went on one of my hunts, every time I tried to force my eyes to see the creature directly, the smudge would get a little bigger, a little more opaque. It was turning from a translucent blur into a patch of milky white fog. I was in the woods, trying to focus on the shimmering shape hanging from a distant branch, and as I strained, I saw the white fog in my own eye physically expand, spreading like a drop of milk and water. And I finally understood, with a clarity so profound and so terrifying it felt like a physical blow. I understood what was happening. It was that he couldn't be seen directly. His very nature is to exist in the edge of perception. And by trying to force him into the center, by trying to capture him, first with my camera and then with my own eyes, I was violating the fundamental rule of his existence. And he was fighting back, much like Chester on me.
I went to readjust, and that was a problem, apparently.
Fix his hat.
I know.
He was erasing part of my vision that I was using to see him. He was a blind spot, a living predatory blind spot. He was growing, feeding on my sight. The panic hit me and was unlike anything I had ever known. It was the terror of a man realizing the weapon that he had been firing, is powered by his own blood. I was deep in the remote wilderness, and I was going blind. I ran. It was clumsy, stumbling, panicked flight. I tripped over roots I couldn't see properly. I crashed through branches that seemed to come out of nowhere. The white fog in the corner of my eyes seemed to pulse and swirl with the frantic beat of my heart. I finally made it back to my truck, my body bruised and scratched, my mind a screaming wreck. I drove out of the forest and I have not been back. That was a month ago. The white patch in my vision hasn't gone away. I've seen 3 different optometrologists and a neurologist. They've run every test imaginable. My eyes, they tell me, they're perfectly healthy. There's absolutely nothing physically wrong with them. They think I'm having a complex psychological episode brought on by stress and solitude. I knew it wouldn't be that easy. I thought the connection was through the photos. I thought they were the anchor. So last week I built a bonfire in my backyard. I took every memory card, every hard drive, every single print I had made of the white slashes, and I burned them. I watched until they were nothing but a pile of melted plastic and gray ash. I felt a sense of relief, an exorcism, if I may say. It didn't work. He's not just in the forest anymore. He's followed me home. He's here with me now as I type this. Not in my room, not in the house. He's in the corner of my eye. I'll be sitting here on my couch, and I'll get the old, familiar, prickling sensation. And I know, if I let my focus soften, I can see him. A tall, wavering, upside-down shape, shimmering at the very edge of my vision. Sometimes he's in the corner of the room. Sometimes when I'm outside, he's hanging from a telephone pole. He's always there, a silent, constant companion. The Rangers were right. The only rule is to ignore him. And now, this is my life. I live in a constant, vigilant denial. I can never turn my head too quickly. I can never let my eyes wander. I have consciously, actively not seen the thing that is always there. Because I know that if I try to look at him, if I give in to that primal urge to face the thing that is watching me, the white fog in my eye will grow. And there's not much of my vision left to lose. So, this is my warning. If you ever find yourself in the deep, quiet places of the world, you feel a prickling on the back of your neck, and you see something impossible out of the corner of at the edge of your sight, for the love of God, pretend you didn't. Look away. Keep looking straight ahead. Some things aren't meant to be seen, and they will take everything from you to make sure you can't.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's spooky.
Yeah.
I love that story. I thought that I was like, that story. I was reading that today, and I was like, "This is fucking sweet, dog."
That's a good spooky story.
Yeah, that guy was definitely tormented in a way that I feel like few people have been.
Yeah. It'll probably work out.
I don't want to be tormented that way.
No way. No way, no how.
Yeah. What I didn't include is that the creature spoke at the end.
What?
Yeah, and he says, "They put the hot oil into the flour." Hot oil into the flour. I know that flour is expensive. Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me.
No one's gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about except for you two.
Yeah.
But it's God, it's in my head forever. Taylor,
Yes.
your scary story.
Yes. This is an amalgamation of letters that don't really form words. It's by user GTrustGTY,
Nice.
I guess.
GTrustGTY.
Yeah. This is called Body Snatcher.
Oh, I love that band.
It's not quite the band.
Oh man.
Sorry
I was just gonna do it.
I was like thinking like body snatcher. I was like thinking like, you know, you got a whole new look. You got your body snatched. Like you're ready to go out on the town and be the new Miss Thing.
Yeah, we have very different ideas when I think of Body Snatcher. I think of the band Body Snatcher.
Oh.
And the song King of the Rats.
King of the Rats.
Yeah. What's up, bitch? Fuck you. It's too fucking late. It's one of the songs I sing to the dog to get her hyped up.
Yeah, the dog does really like that song.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, she gets hyped for it. Okay, so Body Snatcher. I scream into the dark, tight space. My throat is raw from the same actions repeated countless times. Around me, the darkness feels like an endless abyss. A veritable claustrophobia chokes my soul. I've been buried alive, I realize, and there are no bell strings. Unsurprising, since my parents could not afford a coffin that would keep out the water or denizens of the soil. I feel them wriggling around my toes and between my burial clothes, searching for spoiled flesh or perhaps waiting for me to spoil. I don't know the time or how long I've been buried. All I know is I don't have much time before my coffin is justified. I raise my hand, mustering the waning strength to pound once more at the rotten wood when a voice whispers behind me, "Don't." I freeze, my eyes swelling with the tears of absolute terror.
I'm terrified.
Oh, okay.
I heard don't, so I stopped moving. I'm immersing myself in the story.
Okay. Well, don't move. I know not how long I remain frozen and afraid, but I finally ask, "Who's there?" The voice emits an eerie giggle and answers, "Just a friend and guardian." I don't believe it, but its jovial tone makes me wary to challenge it. "Why don't you want me to call for help? I'm on the brink of death and must get out," I croak, surprised by my willingness to converse. "Because if you do, your death is assured," the voice says flatly. I laugh bitterly. Is this some trick or riddle? "Surely you jest. My death is more likely if I do not act. Perhaps you are the devil and have come to trick me into relinquishing my soul," I say, anger rising at the thought of damnation by the snake-tongued demon. "Stupid child, the devil you speak of lies in the hearts of men. I simply watch and warn. Heed my warning and be silent," the voice says, its tone sharpening. "My parents always said the devil will use everything in its power to tempt you. Here it is, deceiving me into eternal damnation. But it will not claim me." Surging with new energy, I strike the roof of the coffin hard enough to feel a soft splinter stab my palm. "You fool, stop it now," the voice hisses. It knows I'm getting closer. Readying another strike, I hear a loud thunk on the roof, followed by muffled voices. I scream until my throat feels torn, and the next moment the roof splits open. As the last wood clears, I hear the voice whisper, "Your fate is sealed." Before me are two men. The one with the shovel that opened my coffin looks at me as I began to utter my gratitude and says, "Sorry, lady, I came here for a body and I'm leaving with one," as the shovel comes down on my head.
Whoa.
Oh.
Were you expecting that?
No, that's fucking crazy.
Yes.
It's a shorter one. I didn't realize how short it was until I read it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Took me longer to read it.
Bill, do you want to read one more story, and then I guess I can just finish off with the ghost dog paranormal canine unit,
Yeah.
since I keep alluding to it.
Okay, so this is by Laura DiMartino, again on Readsy Prompts, The Eyeball Story. That is the name of it. I know. I want to offer some context. Every one of these that I'm reading, I have not read before, so you get my honest reaction as I'm
funny.
doing this. Okay, The Eyeball Story. This is a true story. Before I even became a teacher, in 8th grade, I volunteered in the kindergarten of my school while the teacher took a break. The name of the school was, and still is, Haight Elementary School. H-A-Y-T. Haight.
Oh.
A K through 8th grade school. It still exists in Rogers Park, a north neighborhood of Chicago. Mr. Haight apparently fought, well, he was a clerk, and died in the service of our country in 1904 during the Russo-Japanese War, mediated by President Theodore Roosevelt. The Japanese won. I love how it adds the context. His family, although they originally hailed from Santa Fe, moved to Chicago and were influential enough to have a school named for their beloved son. He is buried in Roosevelt Cemetery, not far from the school. Sam was a cute butterball boy.
With that?
Like, thanks. Sam was a cute butterball boy with brown hair, hazel eyes, and a mischievous grin that charmed the adults around him. But from the corner of my eye, I saw how he snatched crayons, candy, tugged the girls' pigtails, punched the other boys, and pretended innocence. His father owned a construction company. His mother stayed at home and dotted on her Sammy. Dad encouraged his son to be a man, and apparently taught him to box and take no shit from anyone. The teacher would not believe me that Sam was, indeed, a bully, so charming could he be. Callie was a sweet, rather quiet little girl who loved to paint and color in the lines. With her blue eyes and long curly blonde hair, everyone wanted to sit next to her. She often wore frilly pinafores, I have no idea what that is, that obviously were handed down from another age, but were charming nonetheless. Her father worked at a hardware store. Her mother sold Tupperware. I'm not sure what her home life was like, but I suspect she was often left alone. The teacher broke the little ones into groups during work time. Sam and Callie sat at the red table across from one another. Sam tried to get Callie's attention in the ways that boys often will, making faces, putting pencils in his nose, making strange, animal-like sounds. One bright spring day, as the robins chirped outside and a warm breeze fluttered the curtains of the bright classroom, Sam and Callie sat at their shared table to color and count out a series of pictures representing small furry animals and their corresponding numbers, to then glue them in order on a separate piece of construction paper. Callie finished the coloring part of the task, the coloring meticulous and fine. Sam was a horrid scribble. Callie asked Sam to pass the scissors that they shared in their group. Sam, laughing, said, "Come and get them." Callie got up to retrieve the scissors, but Sam held them out of her reach, taunting her. Callie returned to her seat, and water welled up in her beautiful eyes. "Oh, here!" Sam shouted, and flung the scissors at Callie. When the ambulance came, blood was streaming from Callie's left eye, and her eyeball hung by a tendril. Now it's making sense why this is the eyeball story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, but you will get burnt. Sweet, sweet Callie on a stretcher, Sam, arms folded in front of him, defiantly denying he had done anything wrong. "She fell on those scissors. I saw her trip," he stated to the authorities and school staff. His mother and dad came to get him while he cried crocodile tears, sobbing about how he had witnessed such a horrific scene. His parents took him home, then to therapy, where he charmed the psychologist. No one else could confirm or disconfirm his version of events. I, myself, had not been exactly present, but I knew. After surgery and being fitted with a glass eye, Callie attended another school. I heard that there she was taunted, called Cyclops, by the ruder kids, and that she became withdrawn, immersing herself in art as she grew older. She was not invited to senior prom, never asked out on a date, although several boys under dares attempted to seduce her. Eventually, she did meet a kind man from Afghanistan who had lost most of his vision due to an exploding grenade during the war. He was tall and slim. What?
Which war?
Exactly. That's a good point. He was tall and slim, always gracious, and ever so thankful for Callie. He spoke with a warm accent, often reminiscing about his life and family who had perished during the war. Again, which one? He played flute by memory and wrote anecdotes about the war and his survival through dictation to Callie. They loved each other dearly, and although they never had children, they existed in somewhat of a state of bliss until at the age of 48, Callie's wonderful husband died suddenly of an aneurysm. Sam, meanwhile, was sent to a private school and began to take his studies serious. His father ensured he always had the funds he needed and was solicitous to his mother, who never once reprimanded him on any account. He gained high marks in college and went on to become an ophthalmologist. He was popular and well liked by men and women alike. He attended many parties and dated often. He eventually married a good woman and had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. He won awards due to his work and gave speeches at conferences. His patients spoke very highly of him. On an unusually cool and cloudy day in May 1984, Sam's secretary knocked on his 6-pane walnut office door. When Dr. Kenneth, Sam, did not respond, she gently pushed the door open, only to find him slumped over his desk. 3 patients were waiting in the lobby, after all. Concerned, she swiveled his... Wow, the S's. Concerned, she swiveled his desk chair around, only to see, with shock, a pair of gleaming surgical scissors protruding from his left eye.
Ooh.
His throat had been cut. Forensics never found a fingerprint or any evidence of who might have done this dastardly deed to such a prominent surgeon, someone so well liked by the community. But upon further investigation, they discovered something curious. Behind a hidden pane in his operating room, dozens of carefully arranged jars of human eyeballs had been preserved in formaldehyde, arranged neatly by color. Where and from whom they had been procured still remains a mystery. The whole ordeal is now considered a cold case. As for Kaylee, the last I've heard is that she was taking a long voyage to Europe to study the great art masters. She continues to paint and has a modest following. It turns out her beloved husband left her a small fortune in art and silver that he amassed before the war.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's a pinafore is like it's a full apron with 2 holes for the arms that is tied or buttoned in the back.
Oh, okay.
So that's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. I did know what a pinafore was.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea. That was spooky, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And for our final story, to round it all out, I'm gonna read a story from Poonswoggle on Instagram, on Reddit. And this is Gun Dog Paranormal Canine Unit.
Fuck yeah.
little action to end it all.
Yeah.
It was going to be a terrible day. I'm a forensic scientist working for a police department in a major U.S. city, and I am not good at my job. Yesterday, I botched another autopsy, and by botched, I mean that the families will be furious when the remains are released to them. This was the 3rd major mistake I've made in a year. After my 2nd mistake, I got called in the chief's office. Forensic scientists usually have no reason to talk to the chief. Miss Black, what are we supposed to tell the family of your latest victim? The chief said, as he eyed me with the sort of malice he usually reserved for serial killers and cop killers. Tell them I slipped with the scalpel as I was making an incision? I replied meekly, knowing that this would not be good enough. That's not good enough, the chief roared. You're a loose cannon, Black. And I've never had to say that to anyone from forensics before. And if it wasn't so hard to fire people because of this damn union, you'd be out the door. One more fuck up like that and I'm regulating you to the deepest, darkest core of this station. So I've had 3 mistakes and now I'm staring at an unopened letter on my desk. I told you it would be a terrible day. I opened the letter with the misplaced hope that I was overreacting. Susie Black, you are to be reassigned to B-174. Gather your personal effects and report there to you for your new assignment. I groaned. What could I possibly be reassigned to? Frisking arrestees or menial paperwork, probably. Something at the bottom of the totem pole. So I made my way down to the basement with my box of personal items, and I arrived at the door marked B-174, Paranormal Canine Unit. Someone must have been playing a joke on me. I sighed and knocked on the door. Hello? A voice answers seductively. Come in. Suffice to say, I was weirded out. This seemed odd. I was on edge. I opened the door with apprehension to be greeted by the side of a very, very disheveled looking man. His hair was unkempt. There were massive bags under his eyes, with which he was staring at me expectantly. I stared back. Well, you're a bit chubbier than the usual girl, but you'll do.
Damn.
At least you're a redhead, he blurted out. To say I was taken aback was an understatement. So, Scully, I've got a rather large mystery for you to help me solve, he said while winking and while leaning back in his chair. My name is not Scully. I'm Susie Black, your new transfer, I said as the color drained from his face. Yes, of course, my new transfer. I'm Mike Cobb. He fidgeted and offered me his hand, which I did not want to touch, but I shook anyways. I'm the head of the Paranormal Canine Unit. We get cases that are too spooky and supernatural for any other department, he said in a mysterious tone. You gotta be fucking with me, I snorted. If this is a canine department, then where are the dogs? Woof, woof. I jumped out of my skin completely startled. I turned around and there was an angry-looking bloodhound staring at me. The hound had a holster containing a pistol strapped to its side. I was dumbfounded. Now, I know this is a joke. A dog with a pistol strapped to it? This is over the top and unbelievable, I exclaimed. No, that gun is specifically modified so that Agent Dog can use it. The trigger has been placed so that he can use his mouth to fire it. Took a lot of training, but that dog hits over 50% of his intended targets. I rolled my eyes.
Okay.
Agent Dog?
Yes.
I can't tell you if it's his true name, or you might use it for evil. It's a witchcraft thing, said defensively. So your department is a cross between Scooby-Doo and the X-Files? I said while giving him the dirtiest look I possibly could. Growl. Dog growls. I twist and see Agent Dog baring his teeth at me menacingly. Agent Dog really hates cliches, so try not to compare him to Scooby-Doo. Do not say or do anything cliche, he said quickly while trying to calm down the dog. Can we get to work or something? Talking to you this long has made me worry that I might catch schizophrenia. He frowned and shook his head. Have it your way. I do have a case going on. I do have a case on the go right now, he said as he started handing me packets of salt. I raised my eyebrow and looked at him in a way that was both quizzical and angry. Don't worry, I'll explain on our way to the assignment. We were on the way to my first assignment as a part of my new unit. My new unit consisted of me, my insane boss Mike, and his dog, Agent Dog, who could supposedly shoot a pistol. Needlessly to say, I was saddened that my career was crashing around me. This transfer clearly meant that the chief was trying to get me to quit the force. Mike gave me the rundown of our current assignment, which is 90% crazy and 10% real police work. The police side of the story, a house near the eastern side of town, had been seeing a lot of traffic from known drug dealers. We were being sent to observe the area to see if we could observe any suspicious activity and to acquire a search warrant. The crazy paranormal side of things, Mike specifically requested this assignment because the patrons of the house were rumored to be a bunch of occultists. Mike believed that the specific group was trying to summon a demon called Zolioth. I don't know how Mike acquired his information or how he got a job as a police officer. Apparently, ghosts and demons hate salt for some reason. According to Mike, it can contain or repel most paranormal things. This is the most illogical thing I've heard all day, and it has certainly been a day of devoid of logic. Why would demons or ghosts or whatever he believes in be afraid of sodium chloride, table salt? It is one of the most abundant chemical compounds around. Can a ghost really get close to a bag of chips, or is it too salty? Rhetorical question, because ghosts aren't real. Bark, bark, woof, woof. I'm shocked out of my train of thought by the barking of Agent Dog. It was a seedy side of town. It was getting dark outside, and Agent Dog was leading us down an alley. I always trust his hunches, Mike exclaimed. By the tone of his barking, I'd say he smells a demon, probably a succubus. We rounded a corner and came upon an old lady being mugged. Woof woof. Agent Dog whipped out his pistol and pointed it at the mugger. The mugger pulled the old lady towards him, using her as a shield. The mugger pulled out his knife to the old lady's put the knife against the old lady's throat and threatened, "I will slit this bitch's throat if you get any closer." Don't even think about it, Agent Dog. Your aim is terror. My jaw dropped. Holy fucking shit, your dog can actually fire a gun. He didn't even hit the old lady. Good boy. Who's a good police dog? The old lady was screaming as the mugger fell to the ground with 3 bullet holes in his skull. It took a while to calm the lady down, but she was grateful for our intervention in the end. It's a good thing that your dog is armed to the teeth, the lady said in typical way that people over 60 deliver puns. Armed to the teeth is a cliche phrase. Don't use it anymore. Agent Dog will probably shoot you. The one thing he hates more than demons is cliches. The lady looked frightened and started walking away very quickly, and we decided to just let her go. Mike told me that we shouldn't report the mugger's death to anyone. He said there'd be a lot of paperwork involved, and who likes paperwork? So we continued on towards the home of the apparent cultist. I was starting to believe in Mike's credibility. If a dog can shoot a gun, there might be a house of people who were trying to summon a demon. We're approaching the house. It felt darker. It felt darker than the rest of the neighborhood, and somehow on the front door was a giant pentagram. I told you so. Fucking Satanists, I should have known it. Let's stop this before it's too late, Mike said excitedly. We're just here to observe. Fuck that. We're going in. Burp, burp. Agent Dog drew his gun as we approached. To be continued.
Oh my god.
There is a part 2 to it, but I'll share it for the next time we do scary stories.
Yeah.
Agent Dog.
Hell
You're
yeah.
a fucking loose cannon, Agent Dog.
Oh.
I absolutely love that story so much.
Why did
I would watch an animated series of that.
Yeah,
yes,
I would too.
That's like part buddy comedy, part like Mr. Pickles.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Mr. Pickles, good boy.
I'm like thinking
The
too.
dog is a Satanist. The dog is the devil. Oh, Grandpa, you're just being silly.
I fucking love Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles is pretty good.
I feel like like the thing that would make it even better is if like there was like a dog that was like DMX.
Ho, ho. DMX. Yeah.
What you want?
It's just him just doing like fucking producer tags and everything.
Yeah.
That'd be like the same, but it was just DJ Khaled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you can do that with anybody. That'd be so much fun. Like, yeah, we got a 3-time murder suspect supposedly hiding out somewhere in this neighborhood. Send in DJ Khaled. A DJ Khaled.
Another one.
It's not working. Something seemed to lost the trail. Bill, get Akon on the line.
They got me locked up. They won't let me out. I can't help you.
Damn. God damn. Oh man, just a police force, just of rappers would be that'd be another great animated series.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's so much you could do with that. It would be so much fun. Mm-hmm. Was everyone spooked? Everyone have a good episode?
I thought it was a good episode.
Finally?
Yeah.
Yes, finally.
Christ, took us forever. And if you had fun, be sure to rate us 5 stars in listening apps, like, share, subscribe, as my speech deteriorates even more. You can follow us on socials at HGOPodcast. We're around. Find us. Find me. Send us your hate mail or your love mail. Or
just your mail.
Yeah.
HGOPodcast@gmail.com. Send me your mail. You can follow me directly on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted. Yes, you can. I removed the little things that were down here before. They used to be there, but we're saying it anyway.
Yes, we are.
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitch at IHuntTheHaunted. I'll pass it off today.
You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch at Lunar Thrill. Sometimes I stream, sometimes I don't. Find out. I don't know.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. It's not a set schedule. It's fine. You can also follow our dog at Spirit the Turv on Instagram. She's on there. Otherwise, that's it. Bill, it's your turn.
Well, we had a thrilling episode and a thrilling time trying to make the episode.
Yeah, literally.
And if you want to see what else is going on with Mr. Bill, then check out Thrill of Bill on TikTok and Snapchat. That's where I'm at, and we keep the party rolling here at HGO.
Yeah, and if you know, we've learned a lot this episode, mainly that technical difficulties are a huge pain in my fucking ass.
I think we knew that, though.
Yeah. And, but I was scared the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah. I just, now all I can think of is, you know, there's a lot of scary stories, but who knew that Wizard 101 had the scariest stories?
Just their community forum, not the actual game.
Yeah, it's true. The actual game is even scarier.
It is. It's terrifying.
But remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And you're a loose cannon, Agent Doug.
How?
All right, bye.
Bye.